What's good, Knicks Nation? We got some things to talk about. As the regular season makes its way, we still got the preseason and training camp battles. And on today's show, we're going to try our best to answer the question at who is in and who is out. Who makes the final cut from the 21-man roster? We're also going to talk about Deuce McBride and his new children's book, Salute to Deuce, Jalen Brunson's Clear Nick goal. Also, this week we have a smoke of the week. That's going to be really interesting. Comment of the week, word on the street, and much more on This Week Inside the Knicks. What's up, Knicks Nation? Big time salute to everyone in the building. My name is Karan Pierre, and I'm the Objective fan, and I'm straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. And you know the vibes, y'all, man. Salute to y'all in the building early. I'm going to give a big time salute to Mellow Mike, I see you. Salute to Yuri, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server channel member. Salute to you, Ahmad. Big time salute to J-Tap, I see you in the building. As you guys enter the show, make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you are a subscriber, consider joining the channel. And we will talk more about channel perks and things of that nature a little bit later. I do want to give a big time salute to everybody that saw the Objective Fan Hoop video yesterday. I was in Brooklyn. I had some hecklers on the sideline, and I turned up. One thing about me, I love the talk. I love the banter. Sometimes, players and NBA players talk about this too. Like, they need that edge. So it could be a fan heckling them. For me personally, that always gets me going. I love it. So definitely check out that video if you didn't see it. Some more updates. Big time salute to everybody who is a part of the Knicks Tape Madness Cup, the Fantasy League. We only have 2 more spots available. So if you are a channel member and you want to be a part of the Fantasy League, this is the time. The strike is now. There's a link in the membership section where you could go click and you can join the Fantasy League. Also, if you're in the Discord server and you want to join the league, all you got to do is click on the form in the Knicks Tape Madness Cup service section. You were able to join the league. We only have 2 spots left. So to everybody that signed up, I'm looking forward to it. I've been doing my homework. I want to do the draft right like a week or so before the season starts. So like once training camp is done, preseason is pretty much done, all the moves are final. That'll give us a chance to, vote and knowing, where each team is going to be. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you want to be a part of the Fantasy League, all you got to do is become a member. And if you already are a member, all you got to do is go to those places that I just said. New merch is on the way. And I got something. I'm hoping by next Monday, I could, introduce another product that I'm bringing to the fold. We're going to talk more about that later, but I'm working on that hard behind the scenes. And I know we got the media day tomorrow, and we got training camp begins on the 23rd. I may try to do in another show. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. But I think that's all for the updates. I'm gonna jump into some special highlights. So let me see. Hopefully, research mode is here. Let me jump into research mode. Okay, bam. Let me get off of this. I was playing the video. Hold on, me. So this podcast is dedicated to a blog called thisweekinsidetheknicks.com, which is basically the URL that you see at the bottom of the screen. And when you go there, you'll see there's multiple ways to get there. The easiest way, you could click on the 2025 off season. Bam, it'll take you to episode 15. That's where we're on right now. And of course, during this episode, we'll be talking about all the topics from September 15th to the 21st. All right. So you also can do it from the home screen. If you scroll all the way down, you also see, bam, the latest stuff, and you'll see it here. So multiple ways to get there, all on the same website, thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. Now, I'm not going to read everything, right? There's a lot of news here. But what you can do if you see something you like, or if you just want to check out, to make sure you got all the information on everything that transpired throughout the week, you go here, all the articles are there. Okay. Now, as we start every podcast, I like to start with the special highlights, right? I got to give a big time salute to Deuce McBride. Deuce McBride doing the thing, man. New York City salute to Deuce McBride. He's definitely beginning his journey as a children's author and a dad. So that's kind of lit. You have a baby and then you go and write a children's book. That's fire, So Deuce McBride, crazy thing to put the children's book and then have my daughter be born at the same time, lining up. The Knicks guard said in an interview, but it means so much more, just the fact that she's going to grow up with a dad that was able to do something like this. And hopefully I have more books coming after this. Salute to you, Deuce. I do think that you'll have more books coming after this. This is just the beginning. I think that that's lit, that you can actually create something for your kids to see and enjoy right then and there. So I had to start off by giving Deuce that special highlight and him doing his thing. I do got too many windows here. Let me close some of these windows out. But yeah, Deuce is doing the thing, man. Also, another father that's on the team, to Josh Hart. He jumped in New York Fashion Week runway to help his 2-year-old twins make their modeling debut. I don't have the picture here, but it's a beautiful image of him and his kids, and he helped them, walk their first fashion show down the runway, right? New York Knicks star 30 when he made full daddy mode Thursday, September 18th, with his 2-year-old twins, his sons, Aaron and Hayes. I'm sorry, is that Hayes Dana? Hendricks, his sons Hendrick, Aaron, and Hayes made their modeling debut, okay, at the Macy's Rookie Kids runway on Broadway, okay? Sorry, I don't got the images here, but if you go to the blog, you'll be able to see it. I block out the images for copyright purposes, right? I don't like to put too many images on the screen. But this is also in the special highlight section of the blog, okay? Sorry, once again, I don't got the picture, but big time salute to Josh Hart. Got some good dads on this team, man. They being there for their kids and helping their kids. Hey, potentially, this could be a career for his kids. You never know. You never know. This could be the first introduction to this, and now the kids want to grow up and be models. I don't know. But the bottom line is, salute to our Knicks for showing love to their kids. And the only birthday that took place during this time period, I was shocked, between the 15th and the 21st, is Precious Achiuwa, who just left the Knicks. Salute to Precious Achiuwa in his endeavors. I don't think he's signed anywhere officially, unless we got some new news today. But I'm pretty sure he'll be with the Heat. Jaylen Brown. Yeah, I don't really see nothing new with Precious, but he's more than likely going to go to the Miami Heat. Salute to him. His birthday was September 19th. And of course, we know he spent the last 2 seasons or a season and a half with the Knicks. So big time salute to Precious Achiuwa on his birthday. He's born in 99, so that means he's turned 26. Now, the New York report, I didn't get a chance to come up, to craft an article here, but going forward on the podcast, like I told you guys on the last episode, I created 2 new segments, the New York report and the rundown. The rundown is going to have pretty much all the news. I'm going to list it out. And then the New York report talks about the other sports teams, right? So unfortunately, the Lady Liberty got bumped. We talked about it a little bit on Friday. Sad to see. They kind of fell off this year due to injuries, right? And, the Lady Liberty won't be advancing. Right now, the Fever without Caitlin Clark are doing their things, and this could have been an opportunity, for the Liberty to do something. But Minnesota is still a very, very formidable foe. So the Liberties, they're going to have to get it done and worked out for the next year. Now, New York City football is trash. Jets, Giants, I don't count the Bills. I said New York City football, I'm not thinking about the Bills. Sorry. Right? But the Giants 0-3 after they took a 22-9 loss to Kansas City, right? I actually watched that game, and I watched parts of the game, and every time I put the game on, right, because I catch it in the middle of the game, the other team is scoring. Same thing with the Jets. Jets is terrible. Even though they fought hard to come back, I shut the game off. I put inside the Discord server. I said, listen, man, I'm turning the Jets game off. They got to get a win before I watch them again. So the Jets is 0-3. Giants are 0-3, looking really bad, right? I kind of figured the Giants would lose because I couldn't see Kansas City losing 3 games in a row. I just couldn't see it. So that was tough. Of course, on the baseball side of things, the Mets, they're 80-76, which is second place in the NL East. And their postseason's under pressure after they last lost to Washington. And that's going to hurt their wild card hopes. The New York Yankees lost really badly, right? 7-0 to the Twins. So right now, New York sports is in shambles. But no fear, the Knicks are here. And I think the Knicks, we are definitely taking the mantle as the best team in the city. Salute to the Knicks. We got to hold down New York City because right now it's looking bleak. Let me say what's up in the chat, and I'm going to move on with the pod. Salute to you, Double D. I see you in the building. Big time salute, my man Randu. Salute to you, new Knicks tape, new Knicks channel member. Salute to you, Randu in the building. Yuri says New York sports is in shambles. The Knicks, we here to save it, baby. We are here to save it. Now, I don't know what the Rangers are doing. I'll try to keep an eye out for that. I'll add the Rangers to the New York report. But I know I don't think the Rangers made the playoffs last year, so it's still the Knicks' time, okay? All right, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to go into some of the stories for the week. Now, not too many news stories. Like this section will probably pick up when the season starts. I anticipate that's when, more things are happening. More things to document. I already talked about Deuce McBride's children book. I made that a special highlight. I talked about Josh Hart, going on the runway. But I want to spend some time here talking about Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson made some statements recently about the Knicks. And he warns that the Knicks getting back to the conference finals won't be easy. Hopefully, we don't have the mindset going into the season where we think that we're just going to jump back into the Eastern Conference Finals. Brunson said on Monday, we need to be able to go through this process again and continue to get better to fight to get over that hump. And you know what? I love Captain, a.k.a. as I call him, Mr. Miyagi. I love his mentality because it's always a focus on having to put the work in. Like we as fans, we like finals or bust, right? But Jalen Brunson being the professional that he is, he understands that, nothing is written in stone. Yes, we understand that past history has taught us that the team that lost in the Eastern Conference Finals, I believe the last 4 years, I may be off on the year amount, but the team that lost in the Eastern Conference Final made it to the finals the following year. So we're in that position right now if that trend continues, but more so than just that trend, we're looking at an Eastern Conference where the landscape is definitely has been, compromised or at least battered a bit because the Pacers, they're cooked, right? They lost Halliburton and they lost Turner to free agency. We know the Celtics, I told y'all they were going to dismantle their team, right? Right now, there's a lot of young teams in the East that are just, to me, not ready, not seasoned to really make that push. So I really do believe that it's finals or bust. But they still got to put the work in. And so Jalen Brunson wants us to stay, focused on the task at hand and making sure that, you don't take it for granted. Look, as the article points out, the Orlando Magic, they traded for Desmond Bane. They got a solid starting five. They got one of the toughest starting fives in the league with Suggs and Bane and Wagner and Beccaro, right? And they probably could start Goga, Bataze, or they could start Wendell Carter Jr. from Duke. Sorry, Duke runs the league. But, the Hawks, who they got KP. So it's not going to be easy. But they better get it done. So salute to Captain Master Miyagi for making that statement. He said some more things, too, that I want to touch on, right? And this is one of the topics here, by the way. If you just joined episode 15 of the 2025 off season, we talk about all the topics between the September 15th to the 21st. And these are some of the topics we're going to get into, who's in, who's out in terms of the training camp battles. Deuce McBride, his new book, we talked about that. We're about to jump into Brunson's goal. I do got an interesting smoke of the week for this week, and then comment of the week, word on the street, and a little bit more. Okay, so that's what we're on right now. As far as Jalen Brunson's clear goal for the Knicks, right? New York Knicks guard Jalen Brunson has a lot of personal accolades, but Jalen Brunson is focused on what the Knicks can accomplish as a team, right? As a team towards winning the NBA Finals. All my personal goals are team-based, said Jalen Brunson said in an interview with Games Hub reporter DJ Siddiqui. If everyone's able to feed off that, that's all I'm worried about. I'm not really worried about anything that benefits me solely if it doesn't help us get to where we're going. I'm going to say this, man. To me, Jalen Brunson is an anomaly. I consider him to be a star, borderline superstar in this league, all NBA second team, should be on the first team. Hopefully he can get to the first team. But he clearly doesn't care about those individual pursuits. He's more concerned about making it to the team winning the championship and getting to the mountaintop. So first off, salute to Mr. Miyagi, as I call him, Jalen Brunson. But he has team-oriented goals, right? I think we've been taking steady steps every year. Brunson told Siddiqui, the best part of our team is our chemistry. We've grown and we've created. A lot of people helped us on this journey. And to be able to be where we are now is nothing to be satisfied about. Facts. Hopefully we don't have that mindset going into the season where we think we're just going to jump back into the Eastern Conference Finals. No, we need to be able to go through the process again and continue to get better to fight over that hump. Okay, so, his goals are team oriented. I think that, Jalen Brunson's numbers, especially his scoring numbers, can come down. But if his efficiency numbers goes up and the team's success gets better, he could easily make first team. 100%. Jason Tatum's not going to be there, right? Donovan Mitchell made the team last year. Will he be able to repeat that feat this year? I don't know. So there's an opportunity for him to advance by not just being selfish, because I do think that, especially with Mike Brown, how he runs his systems, I remember this one article called him the point guard whisperer. I wish I could remember who said that, but nonetheless, we know that Mike Brown had a scoring guard in De'Aaron Fox, so I don't expect Brunson to not get buckets. But he's the only star in the league. The reason why I say he's an anomaly, he really is focused on team. I mean, he put his money on the line. How many guys are willing to put the bread on the line? And that's something that Jalen Brunson was able to do. So, kudos to Captain, man. Hopefully the other guys have the same sentiments, especially Mikal Bridges. You just signed your extension. OG signed his last year, right? Towns, his extension is upcoming, but you guys are pretty much set in stone. You guys know where you are. So, hey, it's time to really put on for the team. And I love what Captain said. And I'm riding with Captain on this one, y'all. What's your thoughts on his clear goals, his team goals? He's not concerned about individual accolades. Okay, that's his recent statement. And then I'll end it with this on the Brunson frame. He gave his teammate a ringing endorsement in the same conversation with DJ Siddiqui at Games Hub. Brunson spoke about Cat and his impact on the team. He said the things that he's been able to do in a short period of time being a Knick has been amazing, right? Having him as a teammate has really been fun. I think he gets overlooked how good of a teammate he is. Obviously, he's a great player and what he does on the court, but the teammate he is and what he brings to the locker room for us is special. I honestly think that these group of guys is probably one of the most selfless groups of guys we've seen in a while, where maybe the OKC Thunder, but I mean, they got their bag, right? So you don't got nobody sacrificing no money nowhere else. Anyway, not to just make it about the bag, but where on the floor, these guys have no problem with sacrificing elements of their game to help make the team better. I think with Mikal and even with OG, it was, about the bag, give me my bag. But in terms of whatever you want me to do on the floor, I do. And even Cat said he's another guy who said he didn't really care about stats and accolades coming from Kentucky, being in a platoon system where, you know, they 5 guys in, 5 guys out, only playing 20 minutes a game, right? So Cat has been in scenarios where it's team focused. And I think that this is the perfect group of guys from a team perspective. I'm just hoping that it translates into a championship, hopefully, right? And I think that we're on the right path. Okay, so that Brunson has some glowing words for Towns. I'm gonna look in the chat and I'm gonna keep the show moving. See where we at. Don 9 said Brunson knows firsthand when the Mavs missed the Western Conference Finals the following year when Porzingis got hurt. Facts. Dude, definitely. Wait, was Porzingis there that time? Brunson knows firsthand when the Mavs missed the Western Conference Finals when Porzingis got hurt. I'm not sure. I don't want to fact check that, but I'm on 100 on Porzingis being there at that time. He could have been there, size 9. By the way, size 9, stick around because you might have made comment of the week. I don't know, size 9. You've been on a roll recently, but if I was you, I would stick around. You might have made comment of the week. Let me see. Yuri says Duke definitely runs the league. Fact. I mean, Kentucky runs it first. We right there behind them, but Duke's, salute to the Duke Blue Devils. All right. So I'm gonna keep the show moving. All right. Cool. All right, let me jump into some of these smoking hot topics. Like I said, there's a lot of articles here. I'm not going to read all these things. I'm just going to jump around to a couple of articles here. It's not even training camp, and Josh Hart is already on thin ice. Call me crazy, but I think there's a scenario where the New York Knicks could look to move on from Josh Hart at some point next season. Okay, let me explain. Yes, Hart is still in the Knicks, still the Knicks' heart, no pun intended. And so he's Mr. Heart and Hustle. If you're on the opposing team, you'll have to put some kind of Herculean effort to deal with Hart. But this just isn't a hustle issue. It's more of a question about the roster fit. And now with Mike Brown as the new leader of the group, there are different ways he may want to structure things. Firstly, right, this starts with the conversation about starting front court. Will he start? Will he not start? I think we'll get that answer probably maybe on media day, we'll get some more insight on who will start, but it could also be, well, we want to see how training camp goes, right? And maybe during the preseason, they'll try different lineups. So we don't really know about the starting lineup at all. And we probably won't know about it tomorrow either. So because of Josh Hart, and I keep repeating a comment that a lot of people don't reference or don't really give much credence to in terms of weighing whether or not he's willing to come off the bench versus starting. He said in the interview that I am a starter in this league. Salute to my people who are channel members. Did you guys watch the last Unfiltered Thought with Josh Hart? Josh Hart, I did a video saying why I think he will start. If you are a channel member, go check out that video. It was something that came up that he recently said. But this old clip I'm talking about was during the season last year where he said, I'm a starter in this league. And there's a lot of things there. If you watch the Unfiltered Thought, you'll get the most out of it. But what do you think? Do you think Josh Hart is on thin ice? Do you think there's a potentiality he'll be traded this season? I'm going to say this. Whether he starts or comes off the bench, I doubt Hart gets traded this season. The following season, depending on the way things go, anything can happen. So we'll see about that. But I thought that was an interesting read. If you want to read the full article, you can. Like I said, everything is here on thisweekinsidethenix.com. You go there and you'll be able to see all the hot news items. Okay. So here's another thing. This actually could have been a part of actual news, but because he's not with the Knicks, I kind of kept it separate. But Tom Thibodeau reunites with Knicks protege. So a lot of us may have known, and I think we talked about this on the podcast, that Tom Thibodeau, former Knicks coach, he's been on a college tour, going to colleges, right? So he was recently spotted at the University of Houston, right? And Thibodeau was said to be working with ex-Knicks protege Quentin Grimes, who's also a UH alum. And he's currently enhanced in a contractual stalemate with the Sixers. So I don't got the images here, but if you want to see the images and you want to read more about this, you can go check out the articles in the Smoking Hot Topics. Now, it's interesting that Tibbs is out there, working with Grimes when it was reported that Grimes had issues with Tibbs, right? Especially in terms of getting playing time. So definitely check out this article. I thought it was interesting, man. Salute to Coach Tibbs, right? Even though he wasn't the man for the job to get us to the promised land, I would say that I'm happy to see him still be around basketball. I think this guy is just a hoops junkie. I'm a hoops junkie. I still go to the park. I still play. I record the games. I put it on live for the members to see. Sometimes I stay after an hour after just watching basketball, right? And just yelling out stuff from the sideline. And that's what Coach Tibbs is. Like, it's just, basketball is life, like literally. And honestly, my life would be incomplete without the game of basketball. 100% facts. I still play it. I still watch it. I still talk about it. I mean, I eat, sleep, and breathe basketball, not only just Knicks basketball, but just basketball in general. So yeah, Coach Tibbs, man, he's making his rounds, man. He's doing this thing. Let me some power rankings here, some future power rankings from ESPN. Now, when we do the power rankings going forward this season, I know I try to implement Bleacher Report too. I think it was Bleacher Report. I think the Athletic has one, but I don't use the Athletic a lot because you got to pay for that, and I know a lot of people don't pay for news and stuff like that. So that's why I don't really share too much Athletic articles. But I will say the Athletic, they on point because that's the New York Times. But when the season starts, we'll probably just use the ESPN power rankings. And if we could peek at some of the other rankings, but these are the 3-year outlooks. So that's what these rankings are, 3-year outlooks. So let's see where they got our team. Of course, they got OKC number 1, Houston number 2. I think that OKC number 1 is possibly the best 3-year future outlook window in terms of OKC getting that spot because of what they've been developing over the past couple of years. But I will say this, second apron is coming. And we know the second apron has been a killer for teams, especially teams that's trying to establish dynasties, multiple year championship runs. We haven't seen multiple year championships run primarily due to the apron, right? And so we got to see how they survive that. Now, they do got a lot of draft picks. They do got a lot of young talent. They could cycle in draft picks and draft well and cycle in guys and out guys. But I'm curious to see if they can sustain it. Houston Rockets number 2. In terms of the Houston Rockets being number 2, I don't know. They got KD. He's their best player, but he's 38 years old. A lot is banking. They're banking a lot on KD to help get them to the promised land. And I don't think that the window for them is that wide open. Not with KD. All right. Now that they got the Knicks number 3, they gave the Knicks the number 3 spot on the 3-year future outlook. So Knicks hold steady, reaching their first conference finals in the quarter century. That's crazy. But falling short against the Indiana Pacers in 6 games. New York, which had his highest ranking in back-to-back years, right, with top 10 finishes, players 5th and market 2nd, and management in 9th. That's fire. Hold on, let me read that again. New York has had the highest ranking in back-to-back years thanks to top 10 finishes and players, which is 5th, market, which is 2nd, and management, which is 9th, after replacing Tom Thibodeau with Mike Brown. So the Knicks, our future outlook is looking bright, but I will say this. The window is still 1 + 1 + 1. Now, I'm more than confident we can get to the +1 phase this year. I'm more than confident. I think we have the opportunity to make it to the finals, but we got to get there, and that will impact this 3-year future. And then they got Cleveland number 4. I think I would take Cleveland off the list, and the Clippers with the scandal. Clippers definitely tanking it down. Warriors, I disagree. They're too old, right? Orlando Magic, I would probably put Orlando Magic behind the Knicks, and the Lakers I probably will put at the 5th spot. But interesting stuff. Tell me what you guys think about the future rankings. They got the Knicks as a top 3 team in terms of what our future 3-year outlook looks like. Keep that pushing. Let me see free agency stuff. Powell. Okay. This is a trade target. So Knicks have a perfect trade target hiding in plain sight. The Knicks are serious about making a move before the start of the regular season. It should be not the service. I'm sorry. It should not be in service of signing 2 minimum free agents. It should be a trade for Justin Champagnie. How you guys are feeling about Justin Champagnie? He actually had a good game against the Knicks last year. He's a 24-year-old wing, combo wing, right? And he's one of the NBA's most valuable hidden gems and might be expendable to a Washington Wizards squad teaming with prospects on the perimeter. It also just happens that he feels a bigger need than any of the other 3 free agents who signed non-guaranteed contracts. They think that he can help transform the Knicks. Michael Brogdon provides the ball handling, and the Knicks will coax more 3-point volume out of Landry Shamet or Garrison Matthews. None of them have the chops to guard wings. That's Champagnie's wheelhouse. So Champagnie's a good defender. He gave us some fits when we went up against him last year. What do you think? Do you think that this is a guy that we should trade for? I'm going to say it depends on what Washington wants, man. I mean, if I'm just trading like a Tyler Kolek, maybe a Pacome, I like Dottier, though. I feel like we should hold on to Dottier. But, I mean, this guy is a 6'6" wing guy. I don't know. I think I would hold on to Dottier. But if I could just trade like maybe Kolek and well, yeah, I mean, to free up salary, though, I don't know if I would do the trade. Because, like, all right, if I'm doing this trade, then that means that I'm only going to sign Brogdon or Shamet. That's how that would work for me. It's like, if I do this trade, I'm going to trade Kolek and maybe some second-round picks. If it's Washington, they'll take whatever. and then I'll just go Brogdon and then bye-bye Shamet. What do you guys think about this trade? I thought that was an interesting proposal. He is a solid young kid, plays defense, 100%. I'll just do and trade Pacome Dottier for him. But Kolek, yeah. I think I would trade Kolek for him. Let's see. This is talking about the two-way. All right, I'm going to get to this in a second. Let me look into the chat. I'm going to get to that in a second. Let me see what you guys talking about in the chat. Kolek for Champagnie, and now they own their pick back. Okay, cool. You know, I don't be always making the connections of the trades like that, but that is a good point. J-Tap said Tibbs loved Hart. That's the only reason why he started. Well, we're going to find out. J-Tap. Let's see. He actually doesn't play defense. He just sits and rebounds. Talking about Josh Hart. Okay. Hey, maybe Hart's defense will be good now that he won't be rebounding, hunting. Yeah, I mean, we never seen the scheme for Josh Hart to guard the point of attack. That could be the key adjustment. We've never seen it. Who knows? Let's see. Are you talking about Champagnie? He's not a brown guy? I don't know. Salute to my man Coach in the building. All right, channel member, channel mod, one of the first mods on the channel. Salute to you, Coach. I see you in the building early. Keep it pushing. By the way, before I continue, I do want to take you guys to the shop. Now, you guys need to keep an eye on the shop. Shop.thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. I'm going to be making some more changes to the shop. All right, I'm going to be adding some more projects or products to the shop. And right now, the newest items are still the Bodega Cat Black Glossy Mug. You could go get yours now. I love the black glossy mugs. It's fire. Go get it now. Add it to your collection. You could drink from it. You could put it on the shelf like I got it right here. I got the white mug right here. This is the smaller version. This is the biggest mug right here, right? But yeah, go to shop.thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. And then we also just released the Bodega Cat hoodies. We got it this is the charcoal black, but we also got it in the bone color, which is, I like this color right here. And then we got it in the black, right? This is regular black, which is fire too. And then boom, we got it in white. All right. Now the black Bodega Cat hoodie is gonna look like this, but this is the Captain 11, but it's this type of black. But it would just have the Bodega. It would have this design on this hood. All right. Definitely check out the shop. Shop.thisweekinsidethenix.com and go and get yourself some merch, man. I do appreciate you guys and all your support. And of course, I'm gonna continue saluting it until it changes. This is the best-selling mug right here, the white Captain 11 mug with the New York City skyline etched inside of it. All right. So let me get back to the blog. thisweekinsidethenix.com. We was in hot topics. Just to do a real quick topic check, if you just joined, right? Smash that like button on the way in for 100% sure. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And if you are subscribed, consider joining the channel. But this is some of the topics that we're going to talk about. I didn't talk about the flagship topic yet. Who's in, who's out. We talked about Deuce's new book. We talked about Brunson's team goal, his new goal, his clear goal for the team. We didn't jump into smoke of the week, comment of the week. We're going to get to all of that stuff, all right? Just so you can see where we are. And I'm going to continue moving. Now, there's a lot of articles here. I'm not reading it all. Once again, thisweekinsidethenix.com. And you can check out all the things that's here. I get to that later too. Okay, cool. I think it's time to jump into flagship. I think I'm going to jump into flagship now. We're going to talk about training camp, who's in, who's out. Now, right now with training camp, everything is pretty premature, right? Like we have no idea anyone who's telling you who they think is going to be here, they don't have no idea. I know there's an article here. I'm going to put it up in a second, but I'm going to open up Knicks Sports Track really quickly so we could actually, so you guys can get a visuals as to who is actually on the team, who is signed to the Exhibit 9s, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, they don't got it. They don't got the updated roster here. Interesting. Okay. Not a problem. What I'll do is this. There's another article I was going to put on the screen. And this is a good read too. If you are subscribed to the New York Post, definitely check this article out. It has every player that's on the team, and it has a description about, you know, where they stand, where they come from, what they're about, why they may have been added to the team, right? So right now, OG Anunoby, of course, most of the guys from last year, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Jordan Clarkson, Cone Dottier, Josh Hart, Ariel, Kolek, Deuce, Mitch, Towns, Jabu, those guys are all locked in, right? Most of those guys can't be traded. Like Mikal Bridges can't be traded until like a week before the trade deadline. Who else can't be traded? Jabu Selly was just signed not till December 15th. Jordan Clarkson, right? So all the guys that were just signed can't be traded. Everybody else is, you know, they're free to go in a trade. Not to say that we're going to do a major trade like that. I'm just letting you know who can't be traded. And the bubble players, the Exhibit 9s and 10s. So you got Brogdon, Diarra, Alex Len, Garrison Matthews, Matt Ryan, Landry Shamet. I'm going to keep it real. The one guy who I think is in is probably Malcolm Brogdon. Unless he like he gets hurt or, you know, he's not playing well, I don't see a world where Brogdon doesn't make the team. Now, Shamet is a question mark. Alex Len is interesting to me because he's a big man and he's a 7-footer. I like big men. I like 7-footers. You could never go wrong by having another 7-footer on the team. Muhammad Diawara, he's a rookie, so he can actually get the rookie scale contract, because what I'll do when I go back to Sports Track, and once again, these are the guys that's going to be on the team unless they're traded. And like I said, Jabu, Clarkson, and who else? Mikal Bridges, those three cannot be traded. Everybody else can be traded, right? But if I take you, oh, they don't got it here. Okay, they don't got it. Let me see if I can find it here, though. Yeah, they don't got it. I was going to show you the I believe it's $3.7 million that we have available. So if you give 2.2 of that to Malcolm Brogdon, that will leave 1.5 left. And that 1.5 will go to Muhammad Diawara because he's on a rookie scale contract, and he's the only rookie that's in this 21 player bubble, right? We know that the two-way guys, Kevin McCullough Jr., Trey Jemison III, and Tosan. I'm just going to say Tosan. I'm not going to say the last name, but I do have some information on him. So that's what I was going to get into, right? So I'm going to come back to this post article, right? But I'm going to touch on the two ways really quick. Tosan, right? So where's Tosan? Is this the trade? No, this is not it. Give me 2 seconds. Where is the Tosan? Tosan. Oh yeah, right here. All right, cool. So this article right here, this is from Daily Knicks. It's talking about the Tosan kid that we signed from the Nets, right? And it gives a little background about him. The wave of signings Knicks have made come to training camp continues. They inked the deal with Tosan. This was first reported by Michael Scotto, right? So here's some information about him. He's a 6'8" wing, had a productive year for Brooklyn, averaging 9.5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 28 starts. That's solid, right? Now, of course, this is not, he's not a superstar, but those are some solid numbers. I watched all the Nets games last year against the Knicks. He didn't really I didn't see his name in my notes. So I don't really think he did. Now, I'm going to keep it real, 100%. I always keep it 100% with y'all. I didn't really care to watch half the Net games because I knew that we were going to beat them. The Nets are trash. I mean, it's just, I'm watching the game, but it's like, okay, I'm probably multitasking, right? So I didn't really notice anything about this kid. They said that he did something with OG, he had a moment with OG. I'm going to keep it real. I don't really remember. But what this article did point out to me was some good things about the kid, right? So not just his starting numbers, right? But here's some things about the kid too. So while Tosan struggled shooting the ball, here's some promising signs for his game. Check this out. For one, he has great size, right? 6'8". He was known as a great passer coming into the league, which is a good sign for a team that wants to move the ball. In college, he played for Princeton, right? He led the team in both points and assists as a senior, and he played point forward, all right, in a role similar to how Draymond Green plays. His best trait is outside of passing is his defense, which is major. Perimeter defense is major. He averaged just under 1 steal per game while ranking in the 76th percentile in defensive. Okay, you guys know I can't stand advanced stats. Boy, I cannot stand them because you could find some stat and make anybody look great. Okay, like Karl-Anthony Towns. A lot of you guys criticize his defense, but before Mitchell Robinson got there, Karl-Anthony Towns was leading the Knicks in defensive efficiency. I know you guys don't want to accept it. The only stat that Towns defensively that he struggled in was that protecting the paint stat. But outside of that, he had the highest defensive rating. So when you're looking at these advanced stats, you got to be careful. But I'm going to give him his credit here. He was in the 76th percentile and defensive estimated plus minus, posting a 0.6 mark. It was a significant improvement from his rookie year where he was just in the 5th percentile at minus 1.7. So, hey, this kid, he plays some defense and he could pass. 2 things that I think will be a benefit to the Knicks. So that's the Tosan kid. Because in my mind, I'm wondering, why the hell did he get a 2-way spot? But you can't ignore 6'8". You can't ignore these numbers of him starting, right? And he's worth a shot. He's worth a shot. He's not a rookie, right? He's somebody that has professional experience. He's worth a shot. Now, Trey Jemison is another 2-way guy that they signed. I think I got an article breaking him down. But what I'll do is I'll go to the New York Post. Once again, if you got the New York Post Plus, you'll be able to read this article. It's a good introductory read so you could get to know who these guys are. Now, Trey Jemison III, right? He's 6'11", 259. Now, when I saw him initially, I didn't think that he was that big. The game I saw, he didn't look like he was I'm not gonna say effective in the paint. He just didn't look like he was that solid in the paint to me. But those are the few Laker games that I saw. I'm not gonna act like I seen this guy play all the games he played, right? He joined the Knicks on a two-way contract. He played for 4 different teams in his first 2 NBA season. He's a traditional center that his strengths are rebounding. I didn't see that. Now, rim protection, maybe, okay. And he's a big body under the basket. I mean, 6'11", 265, that's great size. Maybe he's that guy that maybe Alex Len, you don't need Alex Len. Maybe Trey Jemison is that other big guy that can come in and do those things. I don't know. It's interesting to me, you know, that, I mean, you had Nanji, right? You had some of the other guys there that they went with Trey Jemison. But what these moves do show me is that they're really looking for guys to help them win now, more so than just getting rookies and unproven guys. They're looking for guys that have certain attributes. That's what it's looking like to me. So getting the Tosan kid from the Nets, 6'8", Trey Jemison, 6'11", 260, right? And of course, bringing back Kevin McCullough Jr. on that last two-way spot. And is it? Is Kevin? You don't got nothing on Kevin? Yeah, okay. So yeah, Kevin McCullough Jr., he missed most of his rookie campaign with a lingering knee issue from college. Fact, McCullough is finally healthy and is likely to spend most of his season in the G League on a two-way deal. The mission is clear, demonstration of NBA potential. So they're saying that Kevin McCullough was given a two-way spot because they believe in his potential. And that's why they drafted him. That's what they said when they drafted Kevin McCullough Jr. I like the little bit I saw from him in training camp. I mean, I'm sorry, not training camp, in summer league, right? I thought that he had some fantastic performances. I loved his aggression. I loved his defense. I loved his ability to get a basket and not just be a spot up shooter. Those things to me helped him stand out. And I'm curious to see if he actually gets some time, you know, if somehow, maybe some way, hopefully it's not due to injuries, but, you know, Kevin McCullough to me is a solid guy. I thought they could possibly lose him to another team, but it seems right now, all of these teams, like the Warriors, perfect example, they're looking to investigate and give everybody training camp deals to see who get those final spots. So Kevin McCullough did the smart thing, and he took that two-way contract. So the 12 guys that are on the active roster, right? These 12 guys that are here, that you see here, the 3 two-ways, I don't see them cutting ties with the two-ways no time soon. So those 15 players will be with the team. Thus, meaning that the Knicks have technically 3 spots, but they have to fulfill 2 of those spots due to NBA rules, whereas you have to carry 14 players. Now, I believe there's a certain period of time where you can get away with 12 or 13, but after that period of time, you have to then sign the necessary, I should say minimum allowable players, which it would be 14 players. So that means that the Knicks essentially have 2 spots. The two ways are already filled. So you have 6 guys competing for 2 spots, but it could be 5 guys competing for 1 because the Knicks still would have to trade one of these 12 guys to free up another spot for another one of these 6 guys. And the 6 guys I'm talking about is Malcolm Brogdon, Mohamed Diawara, Alex Len, Garrison Matthews, Matt Ryan, Landry Shamet. Okay? Those are the 6 guys that I'm talking about. Now, Garrison Matthews, I think they gave him an opportunity to come in. I think he might have played with the G League team. Let's see. No, he didn't. I don't think he played with the G League team. But he is 6'6". And I love the height for guards and wings. 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". Boom, you have my attention, right? The question is, can he actually play at the level, or can he really do the things that he brings to the table? Now, one thing we know he could do, he's a shooter, right? And hey, maybe that gets him over the top. Maybe it's the fact that him being 6'6" and the fact that he can shoot, maybe that gives him the nod over Landry Shamet. We know Landry Shamet for last season. We know Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan came in the middle of the season last year, and then he was eventually cut to bring back room for Shamet. So I don't really think Matt Ryan has a chance to make the team. The most interesting name to me on the list is probably Alex Len, because Alex Len is somebody who's a veteran in this league. And I thought Alex Lynn was solid at one point in his career, but then he kind of fell off. I'm assuming because possibly he couldn't fit into what the role that those teams wanted for him. And this NBA is all about politics, right? So Alex Lynn, and this is what the post said: he must have a fan in Mike Brown, who coached Lynn for 3 seasons in Sacramento, and so that history is there too, right? And it's bringing him into camp. It's hard to see a path for Lynn to make the regular season squad, but he's certainly a proven NBA commodity who could fill a hole at center. So, the Trey Jemison 2-way contract, I wonder if that will impact Alex Lynn's ability to get that spot, especially you're competing with Landry Shamet. So if they do make a trade to free up that spot for Landry Shamet, I don't see Alex Lynn taking that spot. Maybe Garrison Matthews, because he's a 6'6" shooter, but those guys don't play no defense. So Landry Shamet is a guy we know, we have a relationship with, history with. I think that if there is a trade that is executed to free up that spot for Landry Shamet, I think Landry Shamet gets it. I don't see Alex Lynn nor Garrison Matthews taking that spot. And then, of course, Dior Robert more than likely will get in. He's the rookie, second-round rookie exception, okay? So let me see if there's anything else I could read. Now, like I said, there's a lot of news here. So if you guys want to check it out, you guys can. I'm not going to go through everything. It'll make the show too long. And I don't think we need to read everything as long as we cover a lot of the major stuff. Let's see. We broke down the roster. Here's some storylines, I guess, to wrap up on. The best battle. What is the best battle for the roster spot? As it stands, the Knicks have cap space to sign one veteran, like we said. So you got Brogdon, Shamet, Garrison Matthews, Alex Lynn and Matt Ryan. Those guys are all looking to share a spot to make that final roster. I don't know why the window keeps refreshing like that. Hold on. Sometimes when you got the ad blocker and the image blocker, the site's act crazy. But okay, cool. So those are the battles to see who will actually make the team. Let's see. The coach's toughest challenge. His toughest challenge is installing a culture, right? With an increasingly influential front office, which is something I voiced my concerns on. I think they got to let Mike Brown coach, let him cook, because I don't want the front office interfering with coaching. Like, Leon Rose knows talent. He could bring talent together. Salute to the great Leon Rose. Let Mike Brown coach, right? He made it to the finals as a head coach, proven head coach, 66 wins with the Cleveland Cavaliers, something that the great Ty Lue couldn't do. Let the man coach. So it'll be interesting to see what the increasing influential front office, how that will impact the Knicks season thus far. Let's see, most intriguing newcomer. Okay, so Yabusele or Jordan Clarkson, who will be the most intriguing newcomer? That's actually a good poll. Let me write that down. Poll, most intriguing. Okay. All right. Write that down. Okay, cool. Most notable absence. Okay, Tom Thibodeau, campaign, right? Precious Achiuwa, I would add him. I mean, I know a lot of you guys don't like him. The biggest comeback could go with Brogdon, Clarkson, or Brown. All right, so there's some storylines. I'm not sure what you guys think about that. I'm curious to see the preseason games, how Mike Brown uses preseason. And there's more stuff here. I'm not going to read it, the rest. I'm going to let you guys go there. Me do some couple of announcements. Definitely, if you just joined the show, this is the episode 15 of the 2025 off-season edition of This Week Inside the Knicks. We talk about all the hot topics between the 15th to the 21st. So, as you join the show, hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, hit the like button, and also subscribe. If you are a subscriber, consider joining the channel. Coach says Matt Ryan is a plumber. By the way, to you guys listening, if you are a channel member and you're listening to the show, we have 2 spots left for the Fantasy League. Okay? If you want to be a part of the Fantasy League and you're a member, all you got to do is go to the membership tab on the channel, right? Or the community tab, and you scroll down, you'll see members only posts, and then you click on the link that's there. Also, if you're in the Discord server and you want to be a part of the fantasy league, all you have to click on is the fantasy league server. I believe it's the Knicks Tape Madness fantasy league server. You click on that, click the link there. Boom. We only have 2 spots available. So get up in there. All right. Because I want to do the draft a week or so before the season. Like once we know like everybody's teams, you know, training camp is done, all that's done, then we'll do the draft and boom, we'll start the season when the season starts. So if you want to be a part of this and you're a member, you got to do those things. Now, if you're listening to the show and you're not a member, you could join the channel and that's not the only thing you're going to get when you join the channel. But if you are interested and you would like to be a part of the fantasy league with us, the Objective Knicks Fan Nation, join the channel. I'll talk more about the channel memberships a little bit later. Where am I at? I just did the flagship topic. Let's do a topic check really quickly. So we talked about who's in, who's out. Deuce's new book. Oh, just to finalize who I think is in. I think Brogdon is in 100%. And I'm going to say Diawara for now because I don't know what trade they could make. But I also do think that there is a potentiality for a trade. Right? I do think that there's a potentiality for a trade. So if they make a trade to free up that spot, more than likely it'll be Shamet. Now, if it's a big trade where they trade multiple players, then it could be Len and Shamet. I think my order for guys who would make it from the guys that are on the bubble, I would say Brogdon first, Shamet second, and then Len third. Right? So that would be my list. All right. Just in case if it wasn't clear if I answered that. I want to make sure I answer it because I don't want people to be like, oh, you're clickbaiting. You know, people just complain for no reason. All right. Now, let me look in the chat really quickly. Salute to you, JJP and YC. I see you in the building. What you don't, Coach, what don't you see? Matter of fact, Coach, here's what I'll do. I'll text you the link right now, Coach, because I got your number. So Coach, I'm going to text you right now. If you want to join, let me send you the link. It's going to come from the call-up show number, all right? So let me text Coach this. And, Coach, you can let me know via text message if you got it. Wait, hold on. I don't see Coach's number. Don't tell me I didn't save Coach's number. I didn't save your number, Coach. So you know what I'll do? I'm going to do this live on the air while I'm here. I'm gonna post inside the membership now. So if you are a channel member, look out for this post that I'm getting ready to drop. I'm gonna pause the show for the channel members. Salute to the channel members, by the way. And I'm gonna post it now, Coach. All right, so you can join if you want to join. We only got 2 more spots, and they going fast like hotcakes. It's going fast like hotcakes. So I'm gonna post this here for Coach, and for everybody else that would like to join the fantasy league. All right, it's gonna be fun, man. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Look, I've been doing my homework, man. I ain't gonna lie. I've been doing my homework. You put link to join fantasy league. Link to join fantasy league, and put this in the membership on the channel. Wow, I got the image here. Bam. All right, cool. So look. It's posted, all right? So it's in there. So if you go to the community section and you're a member, you will be able to see the link to join the league, okay? Hold on. Coach, you said you have to get Cat, OG, and Mitch. Oh, man, listen, if you come inside the fantasy league and you drafting straight Knicks, you're going to get cooked. I'm just letting you know that off rip. I'm not going to tell you my strategy, but I'm just letting you guys know. If you come in there and you drafting straight Knicks off rip, you're going to get cooked. Oh, Coach, you didn't have to put your number in the chat. Hopefully that's not your real number, Coach. You have to put your number in the chat. I'll put it in the thingy. If you want, If you want, coach, I could text you. I'm gonna text you from that number you put in the chat. But you didn't have to put that in the chat though. If you want to delete it, you could. All right. Hold on. Let me send coach that text message really quickly. Because coach is my man. I gotta make sure coach is in there. I have to make sure coach is in there. If you want to be in there, you know what you gotta do, all right? But let me see what else you guys talking about in the chat. Salute to Stevie Nicks in the building. I see you. Chat's kind of lit today, man. Pretty good. I think I did a good job, staying out of the chat like that, right? Because sometimes I could literally, we could do 3-4 hour shows with just me being in the chat. All right. Coach says you winning. Listen, coach, I don't know if you're gonna be winning, man. I think that it's gonna be very difficult. It's gonna be very difficult. But coach, you got the link though? Do you see the link? Or do I have to text it to you? Size 9 says I would draft Tobias and Jeremy Grant. Stop. Oh, HRM said you getting this chip? Stop. Hey man, I'm letting y'all know. Oh, by the way, I will be having a prize. I'm probably gonna do a grand prize and a secondary prize. I'm still, brainstorming on what it could be. Right? I'm thinking maybe like a nice little trophy. You know what I'm saying? Nice little trophy. But there's gonna be prizes. I'm gonna do a first place and a second place. All right. And if I win, I'm just gonna claim the prize for myself. And you know what? It's a good chance I'm gonna win. All right. I've been doing my homework. You call it the Tibby Cup? Y'all wild. I mean, see, now I'm doing bad now. Now I'm engulfed in the. Hopefully you got the link, coach. Hopefully you got the link. I didn't text it to you, but hopefully you got the link. All right, let me keep it moving. All right. Hey, and coach, if anything, like if you have any trouble, just send me a text message to the call-up show number. All right, coach? Anyway, all right, let me, yo, the chat is lit. I'm going to keep it moving, all right? Because Size 9, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, Size 9, because we getting ready to go into the comment of the week, all right? You getting ready to go into the comment. It's 2 comments, right? I'm going to give a big time salute to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server, right? J-Tap, Knicks will be champs 25-26, Yuri. So J-Tap put this in the Discord server, right? J-Tap put this in the server, right? I'm sick of hearing people say, just make it to the finals. Just like Knicks 25-26 always says, we win in the chip this year, right? And then this is what Knicks will be champs said. 2 years ago, neither the Thunder nor the Pacers were in the playoffs. And this year, they both made the finals. As a matter of fact, the Thunder got smacked by an NBA record of 73 points. You don't need time to win an NBA title. You need events that happen. Example, Boston trading KG and Pierce for draft picks who became Tatum and Brown, and OKC trading PJ13 for 5 future first-round picks SGA. Also, if I could add to this, Knicks would be champs 25-26. You could also add, the Boston Celtics trading for KG and Ray Allen, right? Those were events, right? Getting those All-NBA first teamers. Anyway, I digress. I don't want to stay there. I do agree with my man Knicks will be champs here, right? I thought that this was a great comment. I want to clarify some things. With all that being said, my man Knicks will be champs 25-26. I still wouldn't say championship or bust, because that's what we're saying. This is what led to this, because J-Tap's initial comment was, I'm sick of hearing people say just make it to the finals, right? But you got to understand that there's still even though it could happen overnight, and it has happened overnight, there still is some, steps you have to take before you get to that next level, right? Like, you don't just become a champion. Like, you still need the events, like my man just said. But at the same time, I wouldn't say, and I don't even think OKC feels that way this year. I don't think OKC will say championship or bust. Championship or bust is something that I feel like you on some Pat Riley. We gonna do it again. And remember when after the Lakers won the championship back, and when they went back to back in the 80s, and then he was getting ready to speak at that next press conference, the next parade, and somebody covered his mouth. Like, nah, don't give us that high of a standard. Of course, the goal is to win the championship. I just think that we're trying to be fair as fans when we say finals is bust, right? Finals are bust rather than championship or bust, because we understand that we hadn't been to the finals since 1999. Let that sink in. So if we get to the finals, that's still a big deal. Now, yes, we want to win the finals. And once you get to the finals, you have an opportunity to win the finals 100%. Now, the events, though, Knicks will be champs, are these events that took place. Firing Coach Tibbs, getting Mike Brown, whatever's training camp deal, before training camp deal, trade, Leon Rose is good for a nice old training camp deal or in-season deal that makes changes to the team, usually improves the team. So we still haven't seen those moves yet. The question will be, will these events lead to that championship? I think we have a good chance, but I wouldn't say championship or bust. All right. Now, size 9, don't go anywhere, size 9. Don't go anywhere. Now, first off, salute to everybody that comments on all of the polls and surveys and chat. I drop content every day, whether it's a survey, whether it's a video. Every day on this channel, you get content. That's why you subscribe. You should subscribe if you're not subscribed, so you can make sure you get the notifications of every time I drop something, right? And every time I drop something, people are always commenting. Now, I don't get a chance to respond to everything because it's just too much to respond to, but I do read the comments, and I do notice certain comments that I'm like, that deserves a comment of the week. So size 9, wilding out, going crazy. I don't even remember what this post was about. Maybe I should have took a screenshot of what the post was about, but it might have been something about, a prediction or performance or something. Either way, nonetheless, his comment still deserves the light. So size 9, I hope you're still here. Good old Leon, y'all GOAT. First of all, salute to Leon Rose, right? The verdict remains, the New York City salute to Leon Rose. The verdict remains whether or not he'll be the greatest manager of all times. I'm not sure who was the manager in the old school days with Hosman. I'm not sure. I don't remember. So you guys in the 70s, you could elaborate to me who was the general manager back then. But maybe that guy would have some claim to fame in terms of the greatest of all time. But Leon Rose definitely can get there if we win, right? So none of us calls Leon Rose the GOAT, for the record. But okay. Leon making mistake after mistake, then being forced to use draft capital to correct his mess. I wish you would list the mistakes that he made. Because honestly, he probably only has really 1 or 2 mistakes. And they're both, to me, they're not like, it's not like he made a mistake that altered the franchise future and auctioned it off. He didn't do that. Yes, he traded some of our young players, of course, but it was for guys that can help us win now. That's all he did. He didn't jeopardize the future of our team. So, I mean, you want to talk about Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, okay. I even recently added in trading Obi to the Pacers, only because he cooked us in the Eastern Conference Final. That's the only reason. Outside of that, it was the trade still needed to happen because at the time you were committed to Randall, right? Or Randall played better than what you thought he was because Obi was supposed to be Randall's replacement. Neither here nor there. Those are the mistakes that I would say he made. So I wish you would have listed all of the mistakes or some of the mistakes so we could address it. But anyway, why draft Kolek to trade him a year later? That's not due diligence. That's stupidity. And now we're going to gamble on 4 players instead of the 3 we had. Oh, I think I know what this was. This comment was on the show I did last week's episode on trading away the young guys, right? Which I never said that he was going to trade all of the young guys. People always complain about clickbait titles, but at least if you're going to reference the clickbait title, reference to what the clickbait title said. right? And then also, you still got to watch the video too. So in order to know if a title's clickbait, you also have to watch the video. In the video, I never said to trade all of the young guys. I said that Deuce McBride, to me, makes the most sense if you want to make space. Tyler Kolek, if you believe Landry Shamet is better than Kolek and you want to come off that guaranteed contract. Okay, cool. That's pretty much what I said. I said you should hold on to Pacome Dadier unless you're getting somebody who's better, who's 6'8". So no one said that we were going to trade all of the young guys. Nor do I think Leon Rose will do that. However, trading R.J. Barrett, Quentin Grimes quickly, it was a shift from a team that was on the rise to a team that's to a team that's contenders. That's all it is. Everybody makes the shift. OKC didn't have to make the shift because one, SGA is a young superstar. That's one. Two, they drafted well. They got a guy in Jalen Williams who became an all-star after 3 or 4 seasons. That's not the norm, right? Chet Holmgren is still Chet Holmgren, and I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes an all-star this season or within the next couple of seasons, right? And they got paid a very big bag. They are the anomalies. Most teams, you'd be lucky to get one guy that gets a Supermax contract out the draft. They got 3. Let that sink in. OKC is not the standard. So most teams like Denver, right? Like the Celtics, right? They're going to trade some of their young guys for veteran guys to help them win now, like what the Celtics were able to do in their path to getting Drew Holiday. Getting rid of Smart led to eventually them getting Drew Holiday, right? Same thing with KP, right? So you have to move on from guys that are not there right now and get guys that can help you right now. That's all I was saying in that video last week, right? But questioning due diligence as if a second round pick. We're talking about second round pick. We're not talking about the second pick in the draft, the third pick in the draft. We're talking about a second round pick. Second round picks contracts are now guaranteed because second round picks have become more valuable due to the second apron and the apron policies. But second round picks contracts were never guaranteed, right? They were always disposable, right? And that's why, because of that rhetoric, you had guys like Gilbert Arenas slip through the cracks because you just didn't care about those contracts. So a second round pick, to me, will always be expendable, especially if you feel like you can get somebody better. I mean, he's a second round pick. You can get more Tyler Koleks. Like, Tyler Kolek isn't the diamond in the rough. And salute to Tyler Kolek. I hope he becomes a great player. But all I'm saying is if I have to move off of him, it's not the end of the world. So size 9, you got to relax, man. And then he said, fire Leon. Now, y'all got on me. Y'all got on me because I said Leon Rose is on my hot seat. This guy says, fire Leon Rose. What do y'all have to say about that? He is wilding. Fire Leon Rose for who? Do you even know another GM that we could sign? Size 9, you got to knock it off, bro. Got to knock it off. I love you, Size 9. Always at the top of the gamification list, but you got to knock it off. Oh, my God. Let me back up out of there. Hold on. Oh, wait. Where's my smoke of the week? My smoke of the week is not on here? Okay, no problem. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to add it. So for all you guys that read the blog, I'll add it after this. But I do got the link to the smoke of the week. Hold on, let me pull it up. Man, I got a really good, interesting smoke of the week. What did I do with the smoke of the week? Hold on. In the meantime, continue to smash that like button. Coach says, I'll say everyone is scared to say Rose is our GOAT GM. He might be. Like I said, I'm trying to give credit to the guys in the 70s because I wasn't there. So I for me to say that, damn, where the hell? Hold on, 2 seconds, y'all. 2 seconds. I'm gonna get the smoke of the week article. I didn't create the section for it. My bad. I forgot. I got it right. Hold on. Where is it? Wait. Where the hell is it at? Let's see. Let me see. 2 seconds, y'all. I had this article up. Y'all gonna like this. I love going after former NBA players because to me, sometimes they say the most ridiculous things. They think like people think like because you played in the league, that's a substitute for actually watching basketball. Right? A lot of these former pros don't watch basketball like that. They don't. And you could tell in their takes. Right? They know the game, of course, right? They're former pros. They've been in the NBA. They could tell you what the NBA is like. But, and you know, this week's Smoke of the Week, Dog Growls, goes to Mario Chalmers. Oh, you thought I didn't hear what you said, Mario? You thought I didn't hear what you said? So Mario Chalmers has some interesting things to say about the Knicks, right? Recently, right? Former two-time All NBA champion, not All NBA, former two-time NBA champion. Let's relax, right? Who still doesn't believe the Knicks are a contending team, right? Fading that, right? This is what he said. They're missing one piece. I think they're missing that dominant big. They're missing that dominant big. Cat is decent. He's good for what he's good for, but they need someone who can really block it and give them a presence on the offensive end as well as the defensive end. Mario Chalmers, you must have bumped your head and lost your mind. Last season, Karl-Anthony Towns cemented himself as the second best center in the league. The only center I can see overtaking him in that list is Wemby, depending on his development. Right now, Joel Embiid coming back, supposed to be slimmer. I don't know. Will the needs hold up? I don't know. Would you bet on Joel Embiid? Would you bet your house on Joel Embiid doing what he has to do for your franchise, for your team? I don't know. He hasn't been the most reliable guy. But I will say this. Karl-Anthony Towns has proven last year to be the best big man in the East. Right? Now, he said that you need a center who is block it and give them a presence on the offensive end. Who is the last center? All NBA first team center, and I'm gonna continue. Listen, I'm gonna continue to point this out because I feel like it's a hypocrisy. Who is the last center who just so happened to be an All NBA first team and MVP? Who is the last center that won the championship? I'll cut the suspense. Nikola Jokic. What the hell does he block? What does Nikola Jokic, when have you ever seen Nikola Jokic get a block? When have you ever seen Nikola Jokic play defense? Can someone please point that out to me? But no one talks about it. You know why? Because he gets triple doubles. Because he gets assists. He gets the assists. And because Towns gets the points and the rebound. Towns gets the points and the rebound. But Towns don't get the assists. And granted, Jokic is a better player than Towns. I'm out here, I'm not jumping off the deep end, but they're very similar. They both, I wouldn't consider them defenders. Now, Towns to me is a better defender than Jokic, 100%. Now, Towns, he foul trouble. Yeah, Towns gets in the foul trouble because he's actually trying to do something on defense. Jokic doesn't do anything on defense. But why Mario Chalmers won't say that about Jokic? One thing that Jokic has that I said this last year that Towns needs a real power forward. I've been saying this. Aaron Gordon takes all the pressure off of Jokic. Tell me the guy, the power forward, that takes the pressure off of Towns. We don't have one. We need a power forward, not a Mitchell Robinson, not a center. We need a power forward, a Bobby, somebody who could stretch the floor. Even if on defense they take the position as center, on offense we need them to be a power forward, right, who can spread the floor, like a Bobby Portis, like a Naz Reid. If you put those guys with Towns, he would have great success. Period. But what the hell is he talking about? Towns is a monster on the offensive end. What the hell is he talking about? As far as two-way stars, this league, one thing we don't have is an overabundance of two-way stars. Most of our stars do not play defense. Whether it's Jokic, right? Whether it's Luka, right? Most of our guys, they not playing no defense, dog. They not. They on one side of the ball. So, yes, Towns has to do better. I do agree. Towns has to do better, especially if he's going to be a 5 and they're not going to give him help. He's going to have to do better. But all I'm saying is to completely overlook Cat. And look, I'm telling you something. If you actually watch the audio to this, when I do the clip, I'm going to clip this. I'm going to put the audio there so you can hear how Chalmers speaks. Because it's almost like when he said it, he forgot about that Towns was the center. He kind of like overlooked it like, oh yeah, but Cat is decent. Because sometimes you just saying things, you just freestyling, dog. You're not really, man, listen, a lot of these NBA dudes, man, they just talk off the top of the head. They just talk off the, and anytime you do that, when you come across somebody like me or somebody who really does content and who really watches basketball, we just gonna point out the nonsense you guys are saying. What the hell is he talking about? So yeah, that's the quote there. I mean, that's all to it. In terms of what he said, I just think that if he would have said that he don't think the Knicks are contending, I probably wouldn't have did the smoke of the week. But when you want to add this other element to it, like we're missing a dominant big, like Cat is a 2-guard, you just lost your goddamn mind. Let me move forward. I'm going to peek in the chat. I'm going to get up out of here. Mellow Mike says, most NBA players don't play defense. That's why the game is so high scoring. That's a fact. Defense, I'm going to say defense is lacking. I'm not going to say that other comment I wanted to say. Knicks will be champ says, name a player who has given a $250 million contract on his defense. Facts! Hey, yo, Knicks will be champ. I swear to God, Knicks will be champs, yo. Yo, when me and Knicks will be champs disagree, it's a great conversation because Knicks will be champs is a very knowledgeable guy. But I couldn't agree with any statement more than that last statement he just made. Name an NBA player that was given $250 million contract based on his defense. Come on. Is Cat on the equal level to Joker? I think Joker's higher, but they're the same type of player. Nick Shack said Cat is Mitch power forward. Hold on. Cat is Mitch power forward. You will find out shortly. Okay, Nick Shack, we'll see. I wish you was in the Discord server, Nick Shack. We could have put a little friendly bet on that. I think Josh Hart gonna start. I don't think I've ever been more convinced that that Rico is gonna start. J-Tap says Cat isn't a center. Why isn't Cat a center? I want to hear the J-Tap. Follow me, J-Tap. Follow me. Why do you say Cat isn't a center? And also, does those same standards apply to Jokic? Because I never heard nobody say Jokic was not a center. I never heard nobody say that. Sabonis was a power forward. I never heard no one say that Sabonis wasn't a center. The only center in basketball that they say is not a center is Cat. Cat has been a center his whole career. Even in Kentucky, Cauley Stein was on the perimeter, in the zone, playing defense. He was not in the paint. Towns was in the paint, and Towns was averaging, I can't remember how many blocks, but he definitely had more than one block in college. Can't remember the amount of blocks Towns had. But Towns was a paint protector in college. He was. Got to Minnesota, did the same thing, was averaging 2 blocks a game in the NBA. What are we talking about? Coach, I'm with you. Cat will always be hated. That's a fact. I want to know J-Tap. And you know what, J-Tap? I'm not going to slow up the show. We're going to continue this conversation in the Discord server. This is why you guys need to join the channel, because I'm telling you, we have some good we will continue this debate in the Discord server. J-Tap, do not duck the smoke, because like how you duck that Mitchell Robinson smoke, J-Tap, I better see you in the Discord server. We will continue this conversation because I need to know, why do you say he's not a center? What is about Towns that makes him not a center? Can he play power forward? Yes, he can play with another big guy. I'm not saying Towns can't be a power forward, like in terms of like if you want to play a double big lineup at times, yeah. And that's another thing too. I am not 100% against the double big lineup. I just don't think it should start. I think you're going to get cooked on most. If you start the double big lineup against the Hawks, you're going to get cooked. You're going to get cooked because you guys think that Towns is so bad defensively. You guys think, oh, I'm going to put him at the power forward where he's going to be better defensively. That doesn't make no sense. It really doesn't. And a lot of these power forwards, you dealing with Tatums, you dealing with Pascal Siakams, you dealing with Jalen Johnsons. Those guys are not big inside guys. Those guys are on the perimeter. They running. They getting the rebound. They out. So what are we talking about? We will continue this inside the Discord server. J-Tap, that's Cap. Towns was a center. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna pause the show just to do this. I'm gonna pause the show just to pull up Towns. Okay, we're gonna pull up Towns. All right, and we're gonna go to his basketball reference, right? Okay, and I'm gonna show you where he was. Towns only played power forward 2 years of his career. Do you see this? All right, do you see this? Hold on, I think I zoomed in too much. Do you see this? Towns only played power forward 2 years of his career. Do you see it? Every other year of his career, in college, everywhere he's been, in high school, he was a center. What are you talking about? Do not believe the hype. Do not believe the hype. Hold on. Let me go back. He was a center every year of his career. What are we talking about? Only these 2 years when Gobert got there. That's the only time in his career he's been a power forward. J-Tab, you wildin'. Now I'm thinking you trolling. Cat is our best player. Knicks will be champ says Cat's skill set works well with Mitch. I disagree with that. And I know you're not talking about defensive skill sets. What defensive skill sets that Cat has that works well with Mitch? Anyway, I'm going to move forward, man. It sounds like y'all agree with Mario Chalmers, man. I just gave this guy the smoke of the week, and y'all sounding like y'all agree with Mario. Y'all wildin'. Cat is the second best center in the game right now. I probably would say if he's the second best center, maybe third, depending on Wemby. If Wemby comes out in ball, Wemby could probably take the number 2 spot. But he's a top 5 big man too. Throw Giannis in there, throw whatever big man you want. Towns is in the top 5, 100%. So say what you want about him. And remember, we got a new coach coming, so he's going to be used a lot differently. So I did the smoke of the week. I'm going to do word on the street, get up out of here. I'm going to go over the channel memberships and go over some word of the streets, all right? Now, before I do that, I'm going to talk about the membership that I've been highlighting all show. So on the channel, we got 2 membership packages, the Starter Knicks fan, Hardcore Knicks fan. I only talk about the Starter Knicks fan, right? So one of the things you get when you join the channel is not listed here yet. I still got to upgrade this. I might work on this week, so it has all of the perks there. But nonetheless, when you join the channel, you're going to get access to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server where me and J-Tap right now, right after this show, we are going to have a debate in the server right after this, 100%. I'm going to tag them and we're going to go back and forth on this topic, right? So you get access to that. We talk all sports, not just NBA, not just Knicks, but we do talk Knicks every day. Even during the dog days of summer, we always talking Knicks because that's the reason why we're here. It's a great way to extend the conversation with me. So if you think I'm wilding, if I say something on the podcast you think is cap, you could always pull up in the Discord, and we can have a further conversation about everything you see on the show, right? Another thing too, we got the fantasy league. We only got 2 more spots left. Maybe 1, because coach is supposed to be signing up. So more than likely, it's going to be 1 spot left. If you want to be a part of the Knicks Tape Madness Summer League, I keep saying Summer League. I want to go to Vegas next year. That's why I keep thinking about summer. Anyway, if you want to be a part of the Knicks Tape Madness Fantasy League, we only probably have 1 spot left, and it's going to go fast. Join the channel. You will be a part of the league. All right. It's going to be lit. It's going to be a good time. Okay. So that's not the only thing you get. All right. Of course, when you join the channel, you get the cool stars. So that way I could recognize you. Right. J Taps, like, he's telling me to pull up. Right. He's telling me that Gobert is there because Cat is in the center. Right. We're going to discuss all of that. Right. But I see his star, and that's how I'm able to identify who he is, right? Anytime I see the stars, I look for the stars, man. Salute to Fritz, man. I appreciate Fritz. By the way, Fritz, you did a great job. You know, he's not a member. That's my man, Fritz. He did a great job on that show. He did a show on the training camp, the lineup going into training camp. I thought you did a good job on that, Fritz. I was in the chat for that. But anyway, let me see if there's any other members in here, right? My man Coach is another member, right? Towns is actually a better on the perimeter, right? Boom. So he's another a guy who has the stars. So anytime I see the stars, I look for them. I go respond to them. That's also a part of the priority reply, not only in the live chats, but, you know, anytime after the video is done, people want to leave commentary. If I see that star, I'm on it, right? I just filter out the stars. Boom. Jump to the stars. Same thing. We do members only live chats as well. Those are coming back, especially when the season starts. Members only live streams. Like, I be hooping in Brooklyn. I did some content on that yesterday. Cass was heckling me from the sidelines. Why are you not saying nothing? You not saying nothing to the people. So they were talking trash to me. I love it. Once they said that, I hit 4 threes. Yeah, just don't talk to me. If you want me to if you want the game to go a certain way, just don't talk to me. So I do that. I stream that live. I got some more ideas coming. It's a lot. As this season start, it's going to be a lot of fun things we're going to be doing with the memberships. So definitely go get your memberships now. And also, if you want to be a part of the Fantasy League, once again, that's another reason why to get the memberships. Also, the merch that I showed earlier, members get a discount on the merch, and members always get shouted out each and every time. All right. Cool. So I'm gonna finish up this word on the street, and then I'm gonna get into this debate in Discord, because these guys are wilding. All right, they wilding. All right, so I'm gonna start here. I don't think there's anything before here. Okay, yeah, we start here. Which Knicks player will get the least playing time between these 3 players? I thought that this was a really good question. This is a very interesting question, right? Damn near 500 votes on this. I think Deuce gets the least minutes. 499 votes. 67% say Malcolm Brogdon gets the least minutes. I disagree. I don't think that if Malcolm Brogdon makes it through training camp and gets signed, I think they're signing him to play. Deuce McBride gets 24% of the vote. Jordan Clarkson gets 10%. I don't think Jordan Clarkson gets least. I think Jordan Clarkson will probably be the 6th man on his team. I think that's his role. I see Jordan Clarkson, Yabu Sally, those guys are going to be the 6th and 7th men on this team. Everybody else got to get in where they fit in. Now, Mitch, if he's coming off the bench, he's going to get time too. But I'm talking about from a production standpoint. All right. What's the most probable future scenario for this Knicks player? I'm going to do more of these. What's the most probable future scenario for this Knicks player? Okay. So we got 392 votes. Deuce will get traded. Deuce will start. Deuce will get no minutes. Deuce will be in the lineup. This is tough. This is a tough question, because I see a world where Deuce gets traded. I do see that world, but then I see another world where Deuce can start. I'm beginning to lose faith in Deuce starting, right? Then there's another world, Deuce will get no minutes. I'm going to say, because I'm not 100% sure Deuce will get traded, I'm going to say he's just going to be in the lineup. I think that that's the safest pick. I put that there. I should have left that out just to let y'all scramble to see traded start, no minutes. But I do think Deuce will be in the line. If he's on the team, I don't see a world where Deuce is not in the lineup. 58% of the 390 votes say that. 3% say Deuce will get no minutes. 11% say Deuce will start. 28% say Deuce will get traded. So a lot of you guys think Deuce will still get his time. Now, what is the most likely outcome for this Knicks player? Josh Hart starts or he comes off the bench? I'm going to say Josh Hart starts. So out of the 271 votes, I am in the minority. 15% of Knicks fans think Josh Hart will start. 85% say a resounding 85%. You guys think Josh Hart is coming off the bench. Interesting. I just think that, based on how Mike Brown will want to coach this team, just like projection-wise, we don't know until he actually does it. I think that Josh Hart just makes the most sense. You can still play fast. Josh Hart loves to play fast, right? Josh Hart is not the greatest three-point shooter, but, he got his thumb fixed. His finger fixed. So maybe he'll knock down some threes. I don't know, but he's going to shoot. I don't know. He averaged 14 points a game last year. How many other guys, but probably besides Jordan Clarkson and maybe Brogdon, how many other guys on this team would average 14 a game if they started? Just saying. I just think that he gives offense, right? And he rebounds and he hustles. It works. And I asked this poll this morning. What's the most likely outcome for this Knicks player? I don't know why I skipped a line like this. That's interesting. Whatever. Which is the most likely outcome for this Knicks player? Mitch starts. Mitch comes off the bench. Mitch is traded. This is another tough one, because as much as I don't want him to start, I could see them trying to start him, right? But because of a lot of other reasons, I don't think I touched on this, and I may do an unfiltered thought on this. I'm going to say I think Mitch comes off the bench. So 34% of Knicks fans say Mitch comes off the bench. Not a resounding majority, but the majority of you guys, 58%, think he starts, and 9% thinks he's traded. I would love to say traded, but I don't know. I don't know what the Knicks are going to do. But that's all for Word on the Street, man. Once again, big time salute for you guys making this podcast a great podcast. Couldn't do this without the chat. I was debating taking this off of live and doing it pre-recorded, but the energy of the chat kind of makes the pod too, so we might keep it going. I gotta think. I'm gonna make my final decision on that. But I'm gonna give a big time salute to everybody that was in the building. Lucky Walker said Michael Brogdon's a third string player. Okay, if you say so. I think Hart's better coming off the bench. Mike Brown has 2 years left at $4 million. He isn't going anywhere, Nick Shack says. Huh? I don't know. Hart off the bench. But I'm going to do it on the way out. Let's do the gamification. J-Tap, please do not duck the... Hold on. J-Tap, what you said? What did J-Tap said? Salute to the channel members. He said, I can't wait to see Yuri's team. I thought he was talking about the little debate that we're getting ready to have. Let me do the gamification check on the way out. Big time salute to everybody who's active in the chat. I do appreciate you guys. I ain't see Crim's dad today. Was Crim's dad here? Anyway, salute to Crim's dad if he was in the building, man. But salute to Mellow Mike #1. Mellow Mike at the #1 spot, holding it down. This might have been the second show in a row Mellow Mike was in the #1 spot. He's taking your spot, Michael. Michael 998. You in the second place spot. J-Tap. Mr. The annoying J-Tap, who I'm getting ready to debate on this topic. Yeah, he's at the #3 spot. Still salute to J-Tap. That's my man. Knicks State Madness Discord server channel member. One of the first channel mods. Salute to John Bryce in the building. Randu, one of the newest channel members to the channel. Salute to you. He's at the #5 spot. My man Nick Shack, the Mitchell Robinson supporter, at the #6 spot. Lucky Walker at #7. Salute to my man Coach #8. BS10258. Salute to you, BS10258. Good to see you in the building. Fans NY at the #10 spot. And I'm just going to read off the rest without the ranking. Big time salute to my man HRM, the architect for the fantasy league. Salute to HR. There would not be no fantasy league without HRM the Great. Channel member. Salute to you, man. Mixtape Madness Discord server. Size 9, the guy who gets comments of the week every other week. Salute to him. E. Gibson, I see you in the building. Stevie Nicks, Dwayne Dennis, Wayne Peterson, Hotline Bling. Salute to you. Just Nicks. Jabroni. Salute to the Rock. I like that your avatar. JJP NYC. How could we forget JJP NYC? The great Yuri. Mixtape Madness Discord server, channel member, right? Salute to you, my man, Fritz Alcender. Definitely go check out his show on the NBA economy. He did a great job breaking down the summer camp battles. That's all I got for you guys today. Get inside that Discord server by joining the channel. Definitely be on the lookout. We may do another show depending on if there's crazy news. I'm going to try to get another Wednesday show out. Of course, the call-up show returns this Friday. I'm keeping it the same time. I was going to be thinking about making it earlier. I'm going to keep it at the same time. If anything, the tweak will happen next week, so be on the lookout for that. And, of course, the Objective Fan Hoops. I'm going to try to get in another hoop section sometime during the week. I don't know when we're going to do it, but that's all I got for you guys. And until next time, you guys already know, let's go Knicks.